Like you're between two strawberry plants.
Are under
motif.
2 strawberries.
I've known since I was 12 years old that I wanted to be a songwriter. So, and that's about 87 years ago. So. Well, I started playing harmonica when I was 19, and then guitar when I was about 22. So I was kind of a late bloomer all around.
Like, did you start initially get into music by singing or piano? Or
I think I was too shy to sing when I was a kid. I didn't play an instrument yet. I had this little notation that I kind of invented to remember the songs, and just kind of wrote down the melody using dots. And I mean, none of those songs have survived anyway, of course. I had in mind that I wanted to write a pop song, and highly influenced by a 1989 album called Oranges and Lemons by the band XTC. And I love that album so much. It's my favorite sort of alternative progressive pop album. It's very weird and very cool and lush and filled with harmonies and crazy changes. And
what you managed to do with the lyrics really caught me off guard, because when you're going into a pop song, there's usually like a 4/4 basic phrasing that people will follow. Mm-hmm. The structure that, because it's catchy, they will stick to it.
Yeah.
As where you give them this catchy sandwich that isn't just like bread and butter, but inside you open it up and there's like this lyrical story that's going on, and the way you're going about phonetic rhyming is something that really connected me to it, and I really enjoyed it. And it really keeps it fresh. It's not like you get bored of the song by the first chorus.
Hard to get bored of a song that's under 3 minutes, but I like to hear that. We don't give them enough time to get bored.
There's McDonald's music, so it's there's no sustenance to it, and then you have your steak and potatoes.
Yeah,
you're serving steak and potatoes, and that's how I feel, especially with the content and the way you go about writing your lyrics. And you had mentioned before we were on camera that you went to school for basically linguistics and understanding phonetic, the understanding of language, right?
That was my first post-secondary schooling was linguistics, and like I said, I'm a major word nerd, and I like to pick apart words and try to find just the right word for just the right situation or song. And you're evolving over the years, and you're taking influences from all over the place, from experiences you've had and education you've had, and even jobs, and it all kind of goes into the pot and you stir it up.
I'm starting to realize that I think it's an island vibe that you put off.
Okay.
In your music is what I'm trying to connect to it, because it is very laid back and humble and peaceful, but at the same time it's got like quirky elements to it that like you, with the language you use and the words you're choosing are, like I said, they're not basic, what you would hear in a basic pop song. As an inspirational hip-hop artist, I like to use my worst times in my life as to write about, to create something that's like, hey, this is going to help someone move further through their hard times. But like currently I don't have any hard times, so I'm not writing music because like I don't have any struggles. I'm like, oh, life's peachy, I don't really need to write about life being rough, right? So
that's very true. It's a good point. And quite often that's the case for me. Like if you're happy in a relationship, relationships aren't the only thing you can write music about, but for example, if you're happy in a relationship, there isn't a lot that inspires you to create art generally, which is weird, but it's true. And then if you have a really painful ending to a relationship, that's a really hard period as well to create art. It's usually, for me at least, in reflection well after the fact of something great or something painful, that in that reflection comes the art out of that. So I often will write simply about something that inspires me, that I might meet somebody once and be able to write a song, or have one thing happen that seems simple to other people, that I can find something in there that is maybe symbolic of something bigger, but it doesn't need to be about something that it's life-changing or life-destroying.
I find there's like different regions of hip hop, and inspirational hip hop is what I gravitate towards.
Yeah, so I think there can be a variation to the theme of metal, of folk, of rock, of hip hop, or whatever it is. By the way, my metal album comes out November of 2029. No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be so fun. I'm down to play drums.
I would, yeah, there you go. I would love to do. Honestly, I'm inspired by so many different genres. I would love to do a full blues album, whether it's covers or originals or a combination. I would love to do a full-on country album. I would love to do a full-on, rock or hard rock album. Songwriting is a weird thing. Like you said, music is a weird thing. Well, that's true. And everything under that umbrella of music, including songwriting and the inspiration for it, is enigmatic and unpredictable. And I think that's the hardest part, and probably the most important part is walking that line between how can it be a relatable message and a universal message, yet still unique language, right? Because you were talking about language earlier and how important the lyrics are to be a good lyricist and not cliche. And I have written country, and I'm hugely influenced by traditional country, outlaw country, Willie Nelson. You were talking about producers earlier, and my favorite producer of all time is Daniel Lamois, and he does some amazing stuff with a lot of roots artists, and he produced my favorite Willie Nelson album called Teatro, which Spanish for theater. And I love that album so much. Emmylou Harris does the harmonies all the way through it. There's Latin percussion all the way through it. It's like up-tempo but melancholy, great harmonies, very ethereal production. Like Daniel Lamois does this sort of spacey kind of ethereal, cosmic kind of production, and he combines that with roots music, which to me is a great combination. But yeah, and I've liked a lot of country that I listened to growing up. My mom would play country music, when I was growing up, and then when I was probably about 17, this song came out by a band that I hadn't heard of yet at that point, Canadian band called Blue Rodeo. They had this song called Try, and I was like, wow, what is this song? And again, it had that sort of ethereal soulfulness to it, and it was just like, this is sort of country, but it's also alternative, experimental a little bit. It's got a real, like, it's moody.
Okay.
A moody vibe to it, and a lot of Blue Rodeo stuff is like that, and that got me hooked. I had already been writing songs, in my unorthodox way since I was 12, but when I was 17 and I heard that song Try by Blue Rodeo, I was like, damn, this is what I want to do. Like, I just want to write songs. I don't care what profile of, I ever get to, but I just want to write great songs and record songs, and that song probably above all inspired me, at least at the beginning. And then I even ended up working with a couple of members of that band on a song recording or two and mini tours. There's something special that happens when you write a song that just works and it clicks, and honestly, as an artist, I feel like I'm just the vehicle anyway. It's coming from somewhere else. Most of the time you don't even know, where did that come from? Where did that song come from? Where did that line come from? Where did that melody come from? You're certainly working at the very least, not to get too, spiritual, but you're at least working with the universe when those artistic things happen. Townes Van Zandt, the alt country artist, who's known primarily as just a great songwriter, he wrote his classic "If I Needed You," which has been covered by many country artists. He dreamt of himself performing the entire song in his dream, and woke up and wrote it. And you can tell if you folks out there, you just look up the lyrics to "If I Needed You" by Townes Van Zandt, and there are lyrics in there. You can tell this is from a dream because they're quirky.
That's awesome.
I don't even have enough time in the rest of my life, even if I live to be 100, to record all these things and write all the things that I want to create. So I have a long list.
You had brought up a point about
how much have we raised on the telethon so far, by the way? Are we up to $100 yet?
Up to $100. Starting to see, especially nowadays, a lot more bands that are making it massive at later age. because that musicianship is there and they've put in the hard work.
For sure.
And it takes about 10 years.
Oh God,
minimum.
yeah. And career-wise and from a business perspective, they call it a 20-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to sort of map it out and expect that it's going to take that long to have any real level of success. I wanted to mention one thing about the idea of, you know, getting better as we, you know, practice our craft. There's this quote about this quote from a violinist who was he was about 90 years old, and it was a famous, world-renowned violinist, very successful career, and he was at around 90, and a reporter asked him, "Why are you still practicing violin at this age?" And he said, "I think I'm starting to make progress." I love that. It's just so good, you know, like it just it captures that mindset so well.
That is wicked. I think I'm going to end it on that note. And I appreciate your time and the story.
I appreciate yours, and I appreciate these strawberry plants.
The strawberries.
We haven't insulted each other the way Zach Galifianakis does between the ferns, but we could do that now as a bonus.
Yeah, as we end, yeah.